Hey YouTube people, what's up? So it's been a little while since I posted a video. Thought I'd check in really quickly. I am headed home. Just realized how red my face is. Feeling kind of flushed. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, I am headed home from the grocery store. I had to go pick up a couple things. Turn the AC on slightly. Hopefully it won't make like a lot of racket in the background. I don't know. So if it does, forgive me for that. Try to get a little air flowing in here. But anyway, yeah, so if I repeat myself from any previous videos, I apologize. I did record a couple videos that I ended up deleting before I posted because I just guess I decided I either overshared or it was just boring information and maybe you wouldn't care, or whatever reason I just decided, nah, I'm not going to post that. So yeah, there's probably at least 3 of those that I did like that. So anyway, first things first, I was going to talk a little bit about health stuff. So the last time I went to see my doctor, who is my surgeon, who I've been going to see forever now, it seems like, everything was good, and he actually said I didn't have to come back until April. Right now my appointment is scheduled for, I think, the 8th of April. That is subject to change, just for the simple fact that he obviously does not know his surgery schedule this far in it, or that far in advance. So if something were to come up, he may have to move that around by a few days or something like that, but that's what it is set for as of right now. So I was just super excited that I didn't have to go back, in 4 weeks again. So yeah, don't have to go back until April, so that's cool. And so right now the only place I'm going to is the weight loss clinic, or weight management clinic is what they call it. And that's actually going pretty well so far. I started a new prescription last Saturday. I took my second dose this morning, but with last week being my first dose, this full week I have lost a total of 7 pounds and 4 ounces. So that I would call a success. I don't know if that will be the outcome every week, but I'm choosing to think positive, to be positive and hopeful, and we will see what happens. They gave me 12 weeks of samples for this drug because it's an injection that is technically marketed and considered a I got some people pulled over here. Let me slow down a bit. So it's technically a what am I trying to say? A diabetic medication, and not a lady was like in her robe and they got her outside her car. I don't know what's up with that, but anyway, hopefully everybody's okay. So anyway, it's for diabetes, which, thank the Lord, I am not a diabetic. I am not borderline diabetic. So technically my doctor cannot prescribe this to me. Should not prescribe this to me. I don't want to be a diabetic. I'm not asking for that. Praise Jesus that I don't have to deal with that struggle, because I know being a diabetic is not an easy thing to deal with whatsoever. My mom was a diabetic. I have family members who were, but I'm not there. Don't want to be. But so I don't know. At this moment, I'm just gonna worry about these 12 weeks, and we'll go from there. And then maybe, Lord willing, maybe the company will be kind enough to give them another 12 weeks of samples. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'll be doing well enough that I can just continue on the low carb and increase the exercise and just keep the momentum going and do well enough on my own. Maybe my body will be adjusted. Something will kick in. I don't know. We'll burn that bridge when we get there, I guess, or no, maybe not cross that bridge when we get there. But the unfortunate thing I did learn is that they tried to put me on one medication, Contrave, which is a pill, or a big huge horse pill capsule actually, and it said you had to have 2 tried and failed drugs before they would cover it, is what my insurance originally said. So then they tried to put me on the injection Saxenda, and which I think is a daily injection, I want to say. I may be wrong about that. Daily or weekly, either way. For weight loss. So they tried to run it. Well, it just came back and said flat out product not covered. So I'm like, it's on my formulary list just like the Contrae was. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to call and see. So I call up, CVS Caremark, the little number on my little card, and well, lo and behold, she goes and checks some other little list, and it's a plan exclusion. So I'm thinking, what? Yeah, anything that's anti-obesity or weight loss related, a weight loss drug or anti-obesity drug is a plan exclusion on my insurance. Then why do you give us a formulary that have the drugs listed on there? Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Like, that is so dumb. I do not understand the way that they think. But anyway, having said all of that, that's just how it is, I guess. So, so there's no chance of them, at least this year, unless they make some changes next year, they're not going to pay for any of the drugs that have to do with weight loss or anti-obesity. So, they're no help. The current drug I'm taking, well, I don't guess I've told you the name of it. Right now they have me on Ozempic. So, if I were to be able to get a prescription for it and continue taking it, there is a card, and it is, because it's a diabetic medication, it's covered by my insurance at $25 a month. I can afford $25 a month. That's doable. But, the problem is, I just don't think they're going to be able to write me a prescription because, anyway, this is getting into a whole other territory to where, my doctor's not going to do something that she shouldn't do because it's unethical, and she's not that type of doctor, and I would never ask or expect her to do that. It's just really frustrating that there's a drug out there that would help you and your insurance doesn't want to pay for it. Very frustrating. And I guess we could go through the whole 9 yards, really, and I could get my doctor, that's my surgeon, involved and say, look, this patient has an upcoming surgery at some point. Losing weight would be very beneficial for her recovery time and just to be safer, during surgery and definitely after surgery and yada, 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 and all this stuff. That I don't know, though. How do you get around a plan exclusion? I don't know. Maybe there's ways. I don't know. But, the Saxenda without coverage is $1,200 and for 1 month. And they make a savings card that saves you $200, but hey, that's great and wonderful that they're attempting to help, but I don't have $1,000 to pay for a prescription each month either. So that's where I am. Anyway, I'm just going to continue to use the Ozempic for this wonderful 12 weeks that I have it for and pray that it continues to do so well. And what a wonderful, I almost want to say miracle, because it would feel like a miracle to me if I could lose 7 pounds a week. I know that that's not a guarantee. I know that's most likely not going to happen. I may lose 1 pound this week. Who knows? But I am going to remain positive. I am going to stay focused. I'm going to continue on my diet. I'm going to continue the medication. I'm going to continue to try to do my exercises as much as I can and just move forward and try to stay focused and motivated. And, that's the key. That's the goal. So, I will try to update you a little more often than however long it's been since my last video. So that's that. Work is work. There have been some ups and downs at work. Mostly good things for me, but some bad things for some other people. We've actually had them let a few people go, but that's not my story to tell. I'm definitely not going to go into all of that. Let's see, what else is going on? I don't know, really. My brother brought a female friend over last week, my younger brother, and I did his taxes for him, so he came over and they hung out and visited for a little while. It was kind of nice to have company over, spend a little while. So they just sat and talked and visited, and we watched some TV, and that was kind of nice to hang out a little bit. We were saying when it gets warmer, you know, we would have them over and do like a cookout or something. So Justin actually wants to cook out tomorrow, so I picked up some lean ground chuck so that, you know, we could do hamburgers. I bought hamburger buns for him. I'm gonna try my best to avoid the hamburger buns and just do like my patty and, you know, some little pickles or something on the side, and just, you know, try to do it as healthy as I can and still enjoy myself, you know, during the game tomorrow. So it should be fun. I mean, there are ways around, you know, that you can still enjoy the flavor of, you know, having a grilled burger. I don't necessarily need the bread for, you know, it to be complete or whatever. So yeah, anyway, now I totally feel like I'm rambling, but just wanted to really check in and say, hey, and I'm alive and all that good stuff. I've not been in my craft room doing anything crafty. It's been so cold, and I've mentioned this in past videos, but I'll say it again. The craft room is like on the far end of the house. It is the coldest room, and I just have no motivation when it's like, you know, 20 something degrees outside. I mean, yes, obviously I can put a heater in there and warm it up and all that stuff, but I just have no motivation to get in there and move around and do things because it is so cold. It takes a little while to heat, and I don't know, I just like to get in my easy chair and get a blanket. And I've been reading, you know, I did start a reading challenge, so I'm finishing up my first book and I started my second book. It's funny, you guys are gonna laugh at me, but my second book is actually Peter Pan, because I've never read it. I mean, obviously I've seen like movies, you know, bits and pieces of movies over the years. I know the story just from hearing it. I've seen cartoons and stuff. I've probably seen the Disney movie. I honestly don't know that I've seen Peter Pan in any form all the way through, and I've never read the actual book all the way through. So one of the prompts, or one of the categories, I guess you would say, on the 2019 reading challenge list that I have is children's classics. So I happened to pick up Peter Pan at the last little library sale book sale that I went to, and so I thought, well, that will be perfect because I've never read it, so I have it, why not, you know. So I've just got started on it. So those are my first two books. Well, I didn't tell you, the first book is one that I'm reading called Shattered Memories. It's the third, actually, in a trilogy by V.C. Andrews, and it's going to fall into the category of a book by an author that I love, because I've always been a big V.C. Andrews fan. And I can't remember her ghostwriter's real name, but whoever's writing for her now, but I always have loved her. So, you know, they're still published, of course, under her name. So that's going to be a book by the author I love, and Peter Pan's going to be, you know, children's classic. And then I've got several others that have been recommended by friends. That's one of the categories, so I've got to pick one of those, and that'll be, you know, recommended by a friend. And then I've got to start looking for other books because there's so many on that list. I think all total it's like a 55 books or something to read this year. So yeah, I gotta get on the ball because it's already the second day of February. Yes, I really need to get on the ball. But anyway, if you haven't already, check it out. I posted the list on my Facebook, and it'd be cool if you want to join. Check it out and see what is on the list, and you can join in and have a lot of fun reading this year. So I know Andrea and Amanda and a few others are going to join in and see what they can do. So, and Marie and maybe one or two others have chimed in, so it should be interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I know I've rambled on and taken up enough of your time. I hope you have a great Saturday, great February, and I will be back sometime soon. Have a great day. Bye, guys.